Hey everybody, Justin Archer here, aka The Posture Guy, your #1 source on pain, posture, and performance. And I know this video is being posted smack dab in the middle between Christmas and New Year's, and you probably have a lot going on, but I just couldn't let a Friday go by without giving you some sort of value. But don't worry, I'm going to try to keep this video short, sweet, and to the point. So without further ado, let's get started. What I want you to do now is go ahead and stand up if you're not already standing, march in place for about 5 to 10 seconds with your eyes closed. And then when you stop, ask yourself, how's the weight distribution in your feet? Is it more on your left foot, more on your right foot, more towards your toes, more towards your heels, more on the inner edges, more on the outer edge of the feet, okay? And either remember these or jot them down on a piece of paper. And also ask yourself if you have any, if you're suffering currently from any chronic pain symptoms, how is that symptom on a scale from 1 to 10? 1 being barely any pain at all, 10 being, worst case scenario, worst pain that you've ever felt, okay? So think about that. And what I want you to do, again, you can write that down, is we're going to try to change things and see if there's a direct cause and effect. The first thing I want you to change is by interlocking your hands together like so, bringing them behind your head and pulling your elbows back, okay? Now hold this position and ask yourself the same questions you did before you put the hands on the head and pull the elbows back. How's the weight distribution in your feet? Left to right, front to back, inside to outside. Has anything changed now that you've changed your upper body position? And also, how is your symptom? Is it better, same, or worse? Okay, now, most people are going to find that either the symptom change or the balance change or a combination of either of those changed, all right? If you don't worry, you're not broken, there's nothing wrong with you. We just have to try changing something else. So let's try this. We're going to try changing the lower body. So what I want you to do, and you can reset kind of how you felt in between each one if you want. You can march 5 to 10 seconds, stand, get a sense for how your weight distribution is, how your symptom is. But then what I want you to do is try going into a pigeon toe stance. Big toes touching, heels turned out, somewhere between approximately 30 and 45 degrees, and then tighten your thighs, okay? And ask yourself, how is your weight distribution, left to right, front to back, inside to outside, and how is your symptom, better, same, or worse, okay? Jot that down, and I know I'm going fast here, but you can always pause it and come back to the video. Then I want you to try going duck-footed. So now heels together and feet turned out at approximately 30 to 45 degrees. Thighs tight, all right? And ask yourself the same questions. How's your weight distribution and how is your symptom? Okay? Jot those down. And then last, but certainly not least, we're going to try to change the middle of the body. So what I want you to do is I want you to go into an anterior pelvic tilt, so you're basically rolling your hips forward, sticking your butt out, putting a big arch in your lower back. Ask yourself, how is your weight distribution, how is your symptom? And then jot that down, and then we're going to try going to a posterior tilt, okay, like so, tuck your butt under, try to make it disappear. And then ask yourself, how's your weight distribution, and how's your symptom? And the reason I'm having you do all these different positions is because I think it's how it was first illustrated to me about 8 years ago, and I still refer to it both for myself as well as to educating clients, other posture guys and gals that I work with one-on-one, as to how the body works together as a unit, and that that you really can't change one part of the body position-wise without it affecting positively or negatively other parts of the body. So for some of you, you realize that when you put your hands on your head, pull your elbows back, you felt the weight the weight distribution change in your feet on the ground, as well as probably your symptoms was somewhat or fully relieved. And then for some of you, when you change the position of your feet and ankles on the ground, either pigeon-toed or duck-footed, that changed your weight distribution and or symptom. And then for some of you, you changed the center of your body, the pelvic tilt, and that changed your weight distribution and or the severity of your symptom. So you see, our bodies, we always have to remember, they work together as a unit. And there is kind of an upstream and downstream effect. So what happens to your left shoulder can trickle down to affect your right hip, which then can trickle down to your left ankle. So for example, we've all had probably scenarios in life where maybe you've injured your left knee, and as a result of that, you were limping and you favored it, and now your weight is more on your right side, And because you didn't do anything to correct that left side, now you started developing symptoms on your right side. Maybe right knee pain, maybe right hip pain, right lower back, or right sciatic pain, sciatic nerve pain. And it wasn't until, and maybe you haven't yet, but it's not going to be until you address that left side, get it back into its proper position, that it can go back to being a left leg, and your right leg can go back to just being a right leg and not a right leg and a left leg. So again, work the body as a unit. Now, I'm not just going to leave you with some kind of philosophical and theoretical type stuff. You know me better than that. I'm actually going to give you some stuff you can put into practice, okay? So if you put your hands ahead, pulled your elbows back, and you felt an improvement in your weight distribution and or a decrease in the severity of your symptom, I want you to do the first routine down below. It's clearly labeled for the upper body, okay? If you change something in the upper body and you felt a benefit from it, do that routine. If you change something in the lower body, meaning you either were in a pigeon-toed stance or a duck-footed stance, and you changed and you felt a positive reaction to that stance, both in weight distribution and or symptomatic relief, then do that routine, which is also posted below. And finally, if you changed your pelvic tilt anteriorly or posteriorly, go ahead and do the middle body routine. And what that's going to do is, obviously we can't go around all day in these weird positions, right? We can't go walking around with our hands on our head, elbows pulled back, and feet pigeon-toed. I mean, maybe unless you live in downtown LA, but that's a whole nother story and a whole nother video post, right? Maybe we'll get to it in 2014. But besides, that scenario, no, these positions are merely functional tests to tell us where we should be going with your exercise selection, okay? So try those exercise routines out, and what I want you to do for me is write down your findings when you did your balance test before you did the exercises, and then how you felt after you did the exercises, as well as any notes you found as you were doing the exercise routine, somewhere in the middle, okay? But each routine should only take 5 or 6 minutes to do. They're really easy, really straightforward, complete with video tutorials and everything. And then do those, and I'm not going to tell you what you should expect. I want you to tell me what your findings were, all right? So give those a try, let me know how they worked out for you, and if there's anything else I can do to help. And if you think of anyone else that you think can benefit from these, please forward on to them. It's the holidays, the time of giving, so I know they would appreciate it, and I do as well. All right? Anyways, thanks for joining me inside this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your holidays, and I will see you in 2014. Until then, take care and keep moving.